So that ultimately what we came to understand is that this Western North Carolina coalition is still in the formative process. We are still trying to get together to bring diverse groups of people together to try to have some action. So what do we have in common? Well, basically we have in common the fact that we would like to see a constitutionally based government in Washington, and we also want to see us preserve the individual freedoms that we guarantee by natural law. So we understand that, and we understand that those are our goals. So we're here in the room because we have common goals, but because we're a bunch of separate groups, it's not going to be easy for everyone just to drop everything and say, okay, we're coming here as one group to have one course of action. It's sort of like we have to learn to trust each other slowly from the beginning, because not everyone in this room is coming from the same place. Last time we were together, there was some discussion of Rosa Parks. And we talked about Rosa Parks as well, because she was mentioned as someone to emulate in terms of what we should be doing. But when it came down to discussing this, what we realized is that Rosa Parks was really a spark that caused an explosion only because of months and years of work that had gone before her. And that it's not as if she just woke up one morning and said, I'm going to go sit on the front of the bus and there'll be no more discrimination. That's really not what happened. She sat in the front of the bus as an act of protest, but it was successful because of all the other things that went on before that. So we took a look at that on the steering committee. And what we wanted to do is kind of say this to you. The liberty movement is right now at a crossroads. So we've done a great job of motivating and mobilizing people who believe exactly what we believe. The problem is, when you look at the United States, what do we really have? Well, we've got 40% of our population, when they put their tax return in, if they do, they get back more money than what they send to Washington. Why on God's earth would they be interested in changing the system that they have now? Would you, if you were in that circumstance? Of course not. So you have a huge group of people who have absolutely no interest in changing the situation at all. You have our hardcore group of people who understand why the system needs to be changed, who understand what's going on in terms of the liberties that we are losing. But we're in a minority. So we have to try to motivate and find the people who can be changed and motivated enough to join us. And that is what we need to do. Unfortunately, George Soros is not backing us. And therefore, we don't have the money to have multiple organizations, units, television shows, television commercials, and things of that nature. We don't. So we have to find a different way to reach people other than what costs money. So what we came up with is a concept that's based upon human curiosity. You all know, if you drive by a billboard, for instance, and I'm just using billboard as a for instance, if you drive by a billboard and it has an advertisement on it for Century 21 or some other business that you recognize, you just drive by. It's not really that noticeable to you. But if you drive by a billboard and it has a word or two on it that mean absolutely nothing to you, chances are you're going to want to investigate it, because we're curious people. And that's the basis of this concept, is to have a catchphrase. And the catchphrase is what will appear in many different formats, as many different formats as we can make it appear. And that's the hook that we need to draw people to a website. And that's the basic plan right there. You drive by a billboard, you see a sign by the road. However we get that message across, and we'll get to that lower down on the list. But your curiosity is piqued by seeing a group of letters that mean nothing to you unless you investigate them. And that's what the catchphrase is, and it draws you to a website. And on the website, that's where once we get you to the website, then we can start to talk about to you why these things are so important. These things that are happening to this country now are important to every individual, but most people have no idea. So that's the concept.